Dear students, now I would like to discuss one of the application of Gauss's law, that is electric field intensity at a point due to a uniformly charged infinite plane sheet. Okay, suppose a infinite plane sheet is uniformly charged, whether it is positively charged or negatively charged, and it will create an electric field, and we have to find out electric field intensity at any point inside the electric field. Okay, see here, I am going to draw an infinite plane sheet. Suppose, though it is infinite, I have drawn here a finite plane sheet. Suppose it is extended to actually infinite. Suppose it is positively charged. Okay, it is positively charged. Now see, the surface area of the this plane is infinite. Now we have to find out, suppose, electric field intensity due to this plane sheet. Suppose at point P, which is at a distance, suppose perpendicular distance, suppose r. Okay, now how to calculate this? Now since we are going to apply Gauss's law, that's why we require a Gaussian surface. Okay, here Gaussian surface would be better. Gaussian surface would be, I think, here it is a cylinder. Okay, cylinder of length twice r. Suppose this is the cylinder, it is perpendicular to the plane of the plate. Okay, and cross sectional area of the circular faces are a. Okay, and since the cylinder passes through the plane of the plate, okay, plane sheet, positively charged plane sheet, that means it has cut a circular portion, a disc shape portion of the plane. That means whatever charge is present inside this whole cylinder, it is located here only. That means these charges. Okay, suppose sigma is the surface charge density of this plate. Okay, then what is the net charge present here? That means Q is what? Since sigma is the charge per unit area, if area of this plate is A, since this cross sectional area are A, that's why it is also area of this portion is also A. That is why net charge inside the whole Gaussian cylindrical surface is what? Q is equal to sigma into A. Now we are ready to calculate electric flux. Electric flux phi equal to, all of you know, integration, close integration of E vector dot ds vector. Okay, now before going to discuss this mathematical calculation, I would like to tell you one thing, that suppose this is positively charged plate, whether finite or infinite, electric field lines will be always come out, if it is positively charged, perpendicular to the plate, like this. That means some certain parallel lines. Okay, outward direction. Suppose this is what? Right direction, no? And left direction also, it will move like this, parallel to each other but perpendicular to the what? Plate. This concept you have to remember. Here we are going to apply it in this mathematical portion. Suppose whole surface area of the cylinder is S. Now since this is a closed surface, we have to divide the whole surface into certain parts. Suppose here S1 and S2, these two are the circular surfaces of the cylinder. Again, curved surface is what? This is the curved surface. Okay, this is the curved surface is what? S3. Now if you divide the whole surface S1 into certain small portion, then a small part is what? ds1. Okay, now if you draw a vector perpendicular to ds1, then it is what? ds1 area vector. And since area vector is along this direction, now see, electric field is always coming outward direction for a positive charge, and this perpendicular to the plane. That is why electric field will be along which at this point is along this direction. Electric field line is, or electric field intensity, see here, it is perpendicular to the plane of the plate. Now here theta equal to what? 0 degree. Again, if you consider a small portion area ds2, and if you draw a area vector on ds2 will be ds2 along this direction. Again, electric field right direction is what? Along this direction. Here also theta means angle between electric field intensity and ds2 is 0 degree. Okay, again, if you consider a small portion of the curved surface S3, that is ds3, and if you draw area vector, it will be perpendicular to the ds3, suppose along this direction, ds3. Again, see here, since I have considered ds3, here right means right portion, that's why electric field will be along this direction. Okay, along this direction, this one. Now here, angle between E vector and ds3 is 90 degree. That means angle between E vector and ds1, here 0 degree, here also 0 degree, but here it is 90 degree. Only this portion, this thing you have to remember, remaining things are easy. Now I am going to calculate electric flux through S1, not this one, sorry, S1. I am not going to put here close symbol because this is not a closed surface S1. E vector dot ds1. E vector dot ds1 means what? Flux through only this portion ds1. But when you will put integration, that means flux through whole S1. Okay. Similarly, flux through whole S2 is E vector dot ds2. Okay, because E vector dot ds2 means flux through only this portion ds2. Okay, and integration means flux through the whole S2. Again, integration of S3 means flux through the whole curved surface. Curved surface means E vector dot ds3. E vector dot ds3, only this portion means what? Flux through only ds3 area, but integration means whole curved surface. Now see, dot product means you can write, see here, S1 E ds1 cos 0 degree, because angle between E vector and ds1 is 0 degree. Here also angle between E ds2 cos 0 degree, and here S3 E ds3 cos 90 degree. Okay, now cos 90 degree means here 0. That's why here E is constant, because I have drawn the cylinder having length what? Twice r. That means half portion is towards right and half portion is towards left. That means total length is what? R plus R twice R. Now electric field intensity at equal distance will be same. That is why E will come out and S1 ds1 E ds2 S2. Now see, here flux is what? 0. Again, you can write integration of ds1. Integration of ds1 means if you integrate whole ds, that means if you add all the ds1, that means since you have divided s1 into certain small part, okay, every portion is suppose ds1, then what will happen? If you integrate all the ds1, you will get what? Into s1. Similarly, if you integrate all ds2, you will get s2. That means area of this portion and area of this one. Now see, area of S1 is what? A, and area of S2 is also A. Now you will get twice EA. Okay, EA plus EA. Now applying Gauss's theorem. Gauss's theorem is what? Phi is equal to net charge inside the whole Gaussian surface divided by epsilon naught. But net charge is what? Q is equal to sigma into a divided by epsilon naught. Now phi equal to what? Twice E a, sigma a. Now this a cancel, that's why at a k, that means therefore E equal to sigma by 2 epsilon naught. This is the electric field intensity. This is the formula. Okay, now I would like to discuss my note. Okay, ultimately revision part. Now see, for exam purpose you have to write a note. See here I have written certain languages. Depending upon marks you can write the languages, but the main thing is what? This diagram, okay, and this mathematical part. And you have to say that sigma is the uniform surface charge density of the uniform plane. Okay, now see, let sigma uniform surface charge density of the infinite plane, this plane. Okay, whatever I have discussed, I am just summarizing it through my note. And P, a point where electric field intensity is to be determined, which is at a distance r from the plane. This is the point, suppose, which is at a distance r. Here I have written perpendicular distance r from the positively charged infinite plane or plane sheet. Now consider a cylindrical Gaussian surface of cross-sectional area A. Okay, the cross-sectional area of, cross-sectional means this circular surface S2 and S1 having area what? A. Area is same. Okay, now whose length is twice r. Okay, S1 and S2. S1 and S2 are circular surfaces and S3 is curved surface. Net charge inside the Gaussian surface Q is equal to sigma into A. See here, this cylinder has got only this circular disk portion, and whatever charge is present inside it, this is the net charge inside the Gaussian surface, not outside. These are not the total charge inside the Gaussian surface, only this circular portion. And what is the net charge? Q is equal to sigma into A. Why sigma? Because sigma is the uniform surface charge density, means charge per unit area. If per unit area charge is sigma, then if, total area is what? Total area of this portion is A. That is why you have to multiply according to unitary method. Okay, this is the formula. Q is equal to sigma A. That means in exam, if you want to write for 3 marks, only you can write this diagram. Sigma is what and net charge is what, and then this these things you can write. Okay, normally in notes, notebook, they used to write only mathematical part and the diagrams. Okay, net flux through the Gaussian surface, phi is equal to integration, okay, close integration of E vector dot ds. S means surface area of the whole cylinder. That means surface area of S1, S2 and S3. S. Now since we have to find out what? Flux through the whole cylinder, you cannot directly calculate it, because see here, it has 3 surfaces. Okay, through S1 flux is this amount, through S2 this amount, and through S3 this amount. Now already I discussed angle between E vector and ds1 is what? 0 degree. Angle between E vector and ds2 is also 0 degree. Angle between E vector and ds3 is here what? 90 degree. Here it is 90 degree. Okay, now this part is 0 and E already I told, okay, that E is uniform, because since this point P, it is located at a distance of what? R. Here also suppose there is a point Q, it is also located at a distance of R. That is why E is constant. It is you have to take it outside the integration. And integration of ds1 you can directly write A, because if you add all the ds1, ultimately you will get the whole surface having area A. E ds2 also E into A. See here. Now see, EA, ultimately phi is equal to 2 into EA. According to Gauss's law, phi is equal to what? Q by epsilon naught. Q means sigma A. And after calculation, you will get this. In vector form, E vector equal to sigma by twice epsilon naught. This is the magnitude only. But if you write in vector term, then you have to put here a unit vector, n cap. What is n cap? A unit vector normal to the plane and going away from it. That means n cap is a unit vector which is perpendicular to the plane of the sheet. That means infinite sheet, and it is, that means it is along this direction. if you draw here, n cap will be along this direction. Okay, and it is always outside the plane. Okay, now see here. Okay, already I told you. Now see, if q is positive, that means q greater than 0, or sigma is positive. If q is positive, definitely sigma is positive. Okay, then E vector is directed away from the plane. That means if sigma is positive, that means if the charge is positive, sigma is positive, that means both side is positive. That means E vector will be along the direction of what? N cap. That means E vector will be outside the, towards the outward direction, and here also E vector will be outward direction. Okay, now if q is negative, that means q less than 0, or sigma is negative, that then you will get here negative. In vector, negative means what? Opposite. That means E vector and n cap will be opposite to each other. Since n cap is always outward direction, E vector will be inward direction. That means if this plate would have negatively charged, then electric field would have inward direction. This is the thing. Okay, and this thing you have to remember. And this topic is particularly important for the derivation part of exam. Okay, 2-3 marks related questions, and this formula you have to remember for the numerical. Okay, now I would like to finish my lecture. I would like to discuss one more topic. Next video you can see it. Till then, bye.